Hey guys, welcome to the Ashland Fire Department. This year's going to be a little different. You guys can't come to us, so we're going to come to you. We're going to try to take a little bit of the firehouse and bring it into your classrooms and teach you a little fire safety tips. Hopefully you watch the fire safety video before we get started here. And so we'll take you around the firehouse. We're going to show you how we live here, some of the trucks, some of the equipment, and maybe some of the firefighters along the way. So sit back and enjoy.
Hey guys, my name is Matt McAllister. I'm an engineer here at the Ashland Fire Department. I've been here about 11 years. I'm going to take you through and show you each truck we got and talk about its duties on the fire ground. All right, so as you guys know, Ashland is a river town, and being on the river, we're going to need to be responsible for the riverfront along our town. So we have a boat here that helps us handle incidents up and down the river, whatever that may be. There's a lot of traffic on the river with barges and recreational boats and whatnot. So we have to be able to handle those incidents. This is what we use. And this is what we call our Zodiac. This is a smaller inflatable raft that we can handle floodwaters or any kind of swift water incident in and around the area. We have a swift water team here who any of the surrounding fire departments might call if they're in trouble or anyone is in trouble and needs help. All right guys, so the first truck I want to go over today is our Engine 1. Engine 1 is responsible for getting water at the fire and getting water into the hoses so the guys can fight fire. What we'll go over today is we'll show you some of the hoses this truck carries and the pump panel and some of the tools it carries as well. So one of Engine 1's main hoses it carries is its 5-inch hose. This is the hose we get water from the hydrant, and it goes to the fire truck, and we can pump it out into all these other hoses to fight fire. What we have over here is a 2.5-inch. This is for an interior attack. We have more 3-inch. This is also a supply hose we can take from the hydrant to the truck, to the pump, and disperse through the hoses. We have our alley bag here. This is 2 big bundles of hoses that we can get up into more distant places, harder to get into, maybe up a hill and into a home. And this is what we call our trash line. This is when we fight dumpster fires, vehicle fires, anything we need a quick line on the ground. This is one we use for that. These hoses here are what we call our crosslays. These are what we fight the majority of our residential house fires with. These are very important hoses. This right here is our pump panel. When the water comes from the hydrant through the hose into our truck, it comes into this panel here, and this is where we control where the water goes, what hose it goes out to, and how much pressure it has on it. This is a very important part of our firefighting right here. You got to have somebody that knows what they're doing on this panel. All right guys, the next truck we're going to go over is our Rescue. This just so happens to be my favorite truck. This is the truck I drive. This truck will be called to any sort of technical or special type of rescue situation we may have in town, whether it be from a nasty car wreck to any kind of rope rescue, any kind of swift water incident, anything outside the box where we might need a bunch of different tools. This is the truck they'll send. You'll see a lot of ropes, a lot of rope gear, a lot of swift water gear where we keep our PFDs and tools. You'll see the jaws, tools we use to cut up cars, to help extricate people. A lot of tools for forcing doors, a lot of stuff for incident stabilization. So this is the infamous jaws of life. These are the ones we talk about. If you're ever in an accident and you're pinned or you see somebody trapped in their car, this is how we'll get them out with this tools right here. All right, so last but not least, this is our aerial truck. This is Tower 2. It's got a 100-foot tower on it, big ladder. It also acts as a pumper, just like Engine 1. It can take water and put it through the pump, feed it out to hoses, fight fire. This truck has any size ladder you can imagine on it. It's got folding ladders, extending ladders, roof ladders, every kind you can imagine for high spots.
I'm Captain Carl Stampa. This is firefighter Kenton Baker, and now we're going to be talking about some of our firefighter gear. Kenton, go ahead and get in your gear. This is our new firefighter gear, and while over time it has changed quite a bit. In the early days of firefighting gear, in the 1800s, their firefighter gear consisted of a wool shirt, wool pants, and for their breathing apparatus, they actually grew long beards, dunked it in water, rolled it up, and put it in their mouth to breathe through. So we've come a long way since then. We have, our gear now is made of a Nomex and Kevlar blend. And not only does it protect us from the fire itself, but it also protects us from anything falling on us and also any of the chemicals the fire puts out. We have an air pack now, so we don't have to breathe through up here. And you'll see him putting it on here shortly. And it actually takes the air we breathe. They put it in this bottle, compressed down, and we can breathe that while we're in a fire. So we don't have to breathe all the bad smoke and toxic gases that are in there. Now, once he gets all this fire gear on, he's going to sound a little bit funny. And but basically what you're going to be hearing is him breathing that air out of the tank. In our fire gear, we also carry tools to assist us in getting into houses and also being able to locate you inside of a fire. As you can see, we have the helmet. The helmet actually hasn't changed a whole lot over the years in the basic design. This design was basically created in the late 1800s out of leather, and some of the people today still use the leather helmet. Our gear now, like I said, is a mixture of Kevlar and Nomex mix with nylon cuffs on it to make sure that we keep all the water and soot particles out. That sound you just heard is a thing called a pass device. So if, in case he ever falls down in a fire or gets trapped, he can set off his pass device located right here. That lets us know he is fallen down or trapped or injured. If he doesn't move for like 30 seconds, so if he decides to sit down and take a nap while he's inside, we can always find out where he's at to come get him. Here you can see the mask and his hood. This enables to breathe the good air inside the tank and not the bad air inside the house in case there's a structure fire. All the air is contained in here. This lasts around 45 minutes. Cylinder on back there, and this whole pack is able to be changed out in seconds, so in case we have to go back in, we have another tank installed in here. We have gloves, protect our hands when we're searching around, keeps us from burning our hands when we're inside of a fire, and also boots, so in case we step on any sharp objects or anything else like that, it also protects us.
So this is the house side of the firehouse. Up here we've got our kitchen. We've got a set schedule that we go through every day once we get to work. And usually we'll be able to eat 2 meals a day. So first thing in the morning, everyone will put in $20, and you'll probably see us at Kroger or at Food Fair, one of the grocery stores. And that's our guys going to get our food for the day. Each shift, we have 3 shifts here, has their own locker. So this is where they store the food they get at the grocery store. So this is 1-turn locker, 2 and 3-turn. Each shift buys for their own crew, their own men, and they'll try to cook and use that food for all their meals. At 11 o'clock we eat lunch, and at 5 o'clock we eat dinner. As you can see, we've got the kitchen up here. It gets used a lot. We've got some really good cooks up here, so we don't go hungry very often. But around 11 o'clock we'll come up here, we'll start making our meals, and then in the afternoon we'll do some stuff for the day, do some training, do some cleaning. And then 5 o'clock we'll come up here and we'll eat dinner all up here as a big family. So this is our weight room. Firefighting is a very physical job. Any job on the fire ground, you have to have a certain amount of strength and conditioning to do. So this is our weight room. We try to get in here about once a day. We've got a set schedule that we do every day, and about 30 minutes to an hour of that schedule is giving us time to work out. So this is our weight room. We've got all kinds of equipment that we can use up here. We try to stay in as good as physical shape as we can. Lifting weights, doing cardio, all that kind of stuff that makes us better on the fire ground and better firefighters. So this is our living room, or as we call it, the day room. This is just kind of like the living room you have at your house, except we've got enough chairs to fit everybody on shift, so 8 of us. Sometimes in the evenings after dinner, we don't have any more training or any more cleaning to do, and we're not at calls. We'll get a little bit of time to hang out up here. Most of the time we'll all be up here as one big happy family, watching movies, watching TV, so this is kind of our place to just relax after a long day and hang out together. So these are our bedrooms. Like I said earlier, we're here for 24 hours at a time. So there's some time that we get to sleep. We get to come back here. Hopefully we get to sleep all night, but oftentimes we get calls in the middle of the night, so we don't get a full night's sleep. Each person has their own bed in their own bedroom, and each person has their own locker. So right here, this is where they keep their uniforms and some of their other things, their extra boots, some things that they might need around the station. In the mornings, whenever we get here, we come upstairs. First thing we do is we make all our beds. Everyone makes their own bed. They have their own bed clothes. Some people decorate their bedrooms a certain way. They'll keep pictures of their family, pictures of their kids give them, their wives give them, and they'll decorate their beds and their lockers because this is their own personal space. So we live here. They really don't share these beds with many other people, so you can kind of make it your own. So this is their own little room right here inside the fire station.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap us up today. I hope you enjoyed your trip around the firehouse, seeing some of the guys, seeing how we live. You know, we live here 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You got to see some of our equipment. Just to touch up on a few fire safety tips before we go, to reiterate what the video said, make sure you have these in your house. These are just the smoke detectors. Have your parents check them to make sure they work. They have a test button on them. You can hold that down and you'll hear them beep. That's to know that they work. So they take batteries. So make sure your batteries are good. Change them about every 6 months. And remember, if something happens and your clothes catch on fire, we're going to stop, cover our face, drop down, and roll around. So you never want to run because it's going to make that fire bigger. And always have an exit plan and a meeting place at your house. So if something happens and your house catches on fire or you hear your smoke detector going off, you can go outside to that safe meeting place and meet up with the rest of your family, and you'll know everyone's safe. Don't go back in after those pets either. That's what we'll do when we get there, okay? So I hope you all enjoyed the trip around the firehouse, and we'll see you next time.